You're alive. Thank goodness. I'm alive too. Liv Taylor. Not Tyler. That's a person. I mean, like, I'm living and I so shit life. So bad. Hi. It's me. Elliot still. What up? It's like I love my people, which is like a community of anyone and everyone that loves more than anything that could get in the way of that. And so I don't know. Is it bad? It's awesome actually, but I'm so much about life is fascinating, interesting. Like it's like an unyielding depth of curiosity to fulfill, and it's like right there. It's right there for all of us. Like adventurous, unanswered questions about ourselves and who we are and what we are. I'm not going to make excuses for like the reduced state of consciousness of those that choose to ignore the fact that they're alive, and that is fucking wow. And that being fucking wow, it's a no-brainer to be good to people. And that even when we fuck that up, like forgiveness by virtue of true intent, which is like, I fucked up trying to love you better, you know? That's what all this is. I don't know. I'm getting a little rambly because, hi, my name is Elliot and I wax poetic. And this farce of like a mainstream blah blah, my words, my voice is too powerful. My thought forms too conceptualized and whole to I can't falsify the fiction. And I'm a big fan of fiction, but like it's not even interesting. It's not fascinating. It's so boring. This like systemic repetition of the dull. But I know what I've gone through, what I've had to do to uncover the truth about science or health, wellness. If we haven't met for too long and I'm just like some dude that loves you and entertains us, like while you entertain me and I entertain you, it's just fun. You don't really know that much about me, like who I've been. I became a personal trainer at 18. I almost didn't do any work as a personal trainer because I couldn't abide it. Just like it felt so weird selling myself, and then I couldn't give a fuck. Like I love teaching people like how to. I still do. I love teaching people technique, form, process, understanding, and this is what this video is going to be about a little bit. I'm going to keep it mundane, which is to say, like, I love the fucking mundane. But the most, like, superficially appreciable. But what, like, at 18, I found the gym, and I was a scrawny, tall, super insecure, like, self-identifying athletic, but like, I didn't believe anybody would believe that about me. Boy in a society that represses the shit out of boys, while at the same time lifting this false image that, like, no boys are upholding, no men are upholding. It's like all just TV and media and portrayal. And so I wanted to get D's, Joe. And I found community and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't work that much as a personal trainer then, but I delved deep into things, and I became a personal trainer because I was like, I want to know this stuff. So I've been like a fitness enthusiast for, like, what's that, like 16 years, 17 years, something like that. And I've been doing yoga for about 10. Yeah. Or almost 10. I'm being super, super, like, minutely honest. But I've always been into body movement. I dance like a motherfucker. And but as I became, and then I became a yoga teacher 8 years ago, 7. And that I delved deeply into how I can offer my wellness expertise, because at that point I realized I was an expert. One of the things that I've like come across in the expressions of research is what it takes to be an expert. It's like, to be an expert, you have to be in, like, the top 5% in the world about a topic. And that's like, it can sound like, whoa. And then think about it. It's like, what's 5% of 100? Okay, 5, yeah, all right, 1,000, 50, 10,000, 500, 100,000, 5,000, million, 50,000, billion. It's like 5 million, 7 billion, 35 million. It's like, yo, to be the expert in anything, you have to be in the top, like, 40 million people in the world. But then there's so many things that, like, not many people delved really deeply into, right? Like, everyone can be an expert on anything that they love, because the way that it comes together in them, no one does it like that. No one does it like you. I don't know. It seemed a lot more, like, stark and, like, obvious when it hit me, when it hit me the first time I heard it, and, like, whenever I reference it in my, like, heart mind. But blah blah blah. All right, still with me? Cool. I'm not good at talking about the past, but I don't really talk about myself because, hi, my name is Elliot, and I don't really talk about myself. I will if you ask questions. I mean the proverbial you, the friend you, but I don't really talk much about myself. Anywho, dramatic pause. Let's talk about health. As per usual, I'm going to play a little music. In fact, I'm probably going to sing a little bit because honestly, it's how I like to spend my life. And hanging out with you is fun. And this is what we do together. It's just like chill, yo. Plus, like, it's thematic. This is Edwin. I'm Mother Earth Edwin. Thornley Edwin. It's a little loud. I don't know if it's it for you. Maybe. Oh, it's the extra speakers. So I study a lot how things work so we can alleviate suffering. I suffered from eczema. I was a premature kid, baby. Feels so good to breathe the air. I just want to know the right way to do things. Not even the right way, like the best way going. So right. Another spin around the world, I'm expecting the universe. The gift of love is there for everyone. Angels working overtime, day or night, to hold the hand that way. Oh, love. I love this. A baby's born here to the world as a young man lays down his head and kisses his eyes with nothing. Suddenly another promise is made. Final beings race towards a better day. Let's find a star to come and make a wish. Maybe we can make it home. It's good to be alive. To feel the sun so strong against your face. Strawberry lemonade sinking feels over me like the Milky Way. I can turn that speaker off so I can control it with the remote. Yeah, that'll do. Because this isn't, I want to get to the point. I always want to get to the point, but that's just like my self-talk of like, Elliot, what the fuck? But then I remember, this is what conversation is like. And even though you're talking to your laptop, and like most of the time, there's this image of me, like I'm talking to a mirror that I'm not really looking at, but it's weird. That is just the mundane. Because what's really happening is you doing you and I'm me doing me, and we're exchanging. We're spending our time in our life. A little piece of life in everyone. Ain't it good? Ain't it good to be alive? That's what it always comes down to. Like, no matter what's going on, strip everything away. And What you can't remove is like a warm breeze, the sun against your face, laughter, loving something, feeling loved, being excited in your freedom. If you even just felt that, anything like that for a moment, it never leaves you. And to think like it could never be that good again, you have to think that to get over it, I guess. I don't want to be mean. It's like you didn't think it was going to be that good before it happened. So how could you not know that like the best is yet to come? Still. I'm gonna pause that because the next song's epic. And it's gonna be way too distracting. So I'm gonna play a little later. Oh yeah, that's such a good song. All right, let's talk about health. Let's talk about our bodies, our biology. Let's talk about homeostasis. Let's talk about all the bullshit lies about what we're thought to believe about ourselves. First of all, let's talk about bacteria. Have you ever heard that like fad stat of like something percent, some big ass percent of your body is actually made up of like bacteria? So technically that percentage of your body isn't even you. That's all just perception. You can also go the completely other way. It's like it's like that of bacteria, which are like alive in and of themselves, per se, make me who and what I am biologically, then not only am I me, but I'm them and they're me. So why? I mean, it doesn't stop there. Where does it stop? Where does it start? That is a fancy, easy path to connecting with how we are alive as everything that is. But we're keeping it mundane. These bacteria, they are part of us because they benefit us and we benefit them. That makes sense. When their opportunities are disrupted, it's like we're disrupted, and this causes disease. I'm going to say a bunch of like what I think is like kind of common knowledge, just plainly. Basically, this is my preface because I love, and then I guess this is what I'm still getting over because I'm not really used to conversating as much as I used to. It's been a very isolated few years. I think you're brilliant. And I have no doubt that you totally already know or understand or have asked and have a level of your own answers for everything that I'm saying. So That said, I'm gonna also speak plainly about things that like aren't common knowledge, but are like casual and logical and reasonable and true. It's like, fuck, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I like, because those were my moments. So while you're having them, uh, you can skip past any judgment. You might not. I think maybe you're like past that in your level of whatever. But how I work is like whenever I hear something like that from someone, I go automatically. It's like, oh yeah, well let me find where I'm not past that. It doesn't hurt. It's a curiosity stream. Why I mention it is because of the plague of antibacterial everything. Is the plague of soap, the plague of malevolence when it needn't be. I actually had a really stark, I wouldn't say insight, because the words make sense, but to realize them in a fullness that's new is like extraordinary. And that's kind of how I received them, because it's quite contrary, my passions. It's like I was looking out and seeing trash. I was seeing, like there's pollution and there's bad this and there's good that. And like there is nothing ugly to the universe. There is nothing created that isn't magnificent and wondrous and a part of perfection. Do you think like source creation, there's like nothing and then there's garbage. Garbage. It's like, what the fuck is garbage? That's extraordinary. You can't fuck up this. Not for long. There's no ugly. Except if ugly is allowed to be beautiful. You know? There's no wrong. There's only choice. That is what our soul is. That is what we get to be. That's the first kind of illusion of consciousness. But by virtue of this illusion, there is creation. It's like to know that you are one with all, and then to know that you would make that choice if you couldn't. It's different. Even if somewhere you feel like you know that you couldn't not. It's like I said earlier, it's like, yeah, try me. And then no matter how hard you try, it's like, no, I would choose. Because you know what? Whatever isn't, I don't choose. It's interesting to feel how like spirit censors me and what I can say online and to like an unprofessed audience. But oh yeah, I'm gonna try anyways. And thanks. I'm gonna do it. I'm just trying different ways of conveying my knowledge on this platform with you, while keeping it still like chill and like just like friendly. When you uh, when you perceive your environment as external and contrary to your survival, and you see your environment, any aspect of it as a threat, then your consciousness, and by virtue its vehicle, goes into self-defense. This is fighting. This is dying or coming close to. I'm not even talking, I want to go more mundane than sympathetic, parasympathetic. Like, go simpler. What do you have to do to defend yourself when the world is attacking you? What is wrong with you, like us? What is the you, the us, the I? What is wrong with us that we need as a part of our daily routine to fix, to clean, to not even improve? It's to bring up from negative. Right. It's like original, that the concept of original sin. But I'm only using that as an analogy, and I'm not touching that at all because that's not what we're talking about. How your body, like, you get vitamin D from the sun. Well, yeah, but do you know how that happens? And I mean, like I'm almost saying it to like the commercial that's selling the vitamin D product. It's bacteria in our skin. It converts. I'm skipping, right? But that's the sum of it. That's why you don't. It needs to be most of your body, anyways. It needs to be a like really powerful sun, and that's pretty normal or natural if we weren't like covering from it. Like, what animal, us, on our planet, like dies when they look at the sun, the source of all life? Don't look at the sun; it'll blind you. That sounds dumb. How did we evolve not looking at the bright thing in the sky and still all of us are seeing? Seems instead, actually, that everybody's afraid to look at the light and none of us are seeing. We have to wear glasses because we're born with poor eyesight, right? In the same way that there's bacteria on our skin that like cultivates vitamin D, it's a full-on environment. The oils, the moisture, the processes of your body hair, your pheromones, which is to say your scent, your everything is perfect. The way that it works together to not just like maintain homeostasis, it's to be badass. It's to be awesome. It's to be more than what it was before. I'm not making this up. I'm not also saying that this is like obvious because it's the universe and it's like, why shouldn't we be that way? It just is. It just seems to be the way. So maybe, I don't know, like this is a good one or it's a bad one, but it seems good to us. The truth is, these human vessels are incredible as temples for our consciousness. They respond really well to consciousness. Consciousness is substantial. It is an energy. You can think of it as brainwaves and thought forms, and as like that can be read on EEGs, right? Also, everything is electromagnetic. Everything is energetic. It's like, I don't even want to say electromagnetic because it's a lie. It's like light, sound, radio, radiation, cosmic rays, matter, atoms. It's all one thing in different states. How could it be anything else? And if you're not sure, you have to answer that question. How could it not be anything else? And then when you come up with, I don't know, you just don't stop there. That's when you know you're up against like academic deception. It's like, I don't know. We don't know. There's no way we can know. What do you mean? Says who? Why don't you just like look through door number 5? 5D, what up? So every time you wash your whole body with soap, you are eliminating what your body creates in and of itself to be itself, to interact with the environment, right? The soap isn't coming from you, because the soap that comes from you, you're washing off. Now, every time you do that, you are blank slating yourself. What I mean is, electromagnetic fields are like zones of information. Hi, Kenna. Thanks for saying hi. A magnet is a cohesive field where other fields aren't going to interrupt the information that it has. It knows what it's doing. This is its alignment. When a thing has a weaker field, then it can be affected by other fields. I'm skipping around a little bit with disciplines because I know that you'll follow with just conversation. Your body gets used to itself. It's aiming to understand, integrate, and adapt to its environment to thrive. But every time we wipe ourselves clean of our information, what essentially we're shrinking our own auric field, our own field of information, to something smaller than that, which is clearly unstable, which is not even unstable because it's also a threat. We're doing this because we're dirty. We're in danger. So, and then anything in that environment has to now pass through being a threat. Relationships, touching other people, being with other people, trusting other people, they have to be validified as not a threat, but without our own sense of health, wellness, and impermeability to bullshit. So let's say you stop soaping everything but your hands. And you don't do it religiously, you do it when your hands are dirty. What's going to happen is there's a phase where your body is like, what the fuck is going on? Because now we're not getting that, we're not being soaped. So there's going to be a strong reaction. This is what, like, your skin gets really dry, doesn't feel good, it's not comfortable. Your skin can get really greasy. We're all very different. We're perfectly different. But eventually, especially now at these times where the earth is like, fuck your soap, guys. Like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do what I want. You'll come to a place where your skin, your body, your hair, like when you get up in the morning, when you get out the shower, what you want it to be like when after you put all that stuff in it or on it, it just is that way. Because what is vitamins? What is food? What is like proteins, amino acid chains, are like RNA? Like, what is everything? Stimulating our body to create itself. There's nothing that we inside. When you put cream on your skin, the cream isn't what's making your skin soft. The cream is what's telling your skin to be soft. But it's only really responding to the adverse reaction that because it doesn't have any bacteria, it doesn't have its natural everything to take care of itself. Now, I'm done talking about that, because I'm not really talking about the bacteria on your skin. I'm not really talking about soaping. I'm talking about the relationship one has with why they do what they do as their identity, right? Either it's assumed and like unquestioned, which is just a deeper, more unconscious layer of like self-destruction. Not because they're soaping and so self-destroying, but because they're self-destroyed and redeeming endlessly and needfully. It's this psychosomatic relationship with consciousness, choice, and action, and how it manifests in your life. And to make sense of that, when you, like, we know, like, stress, when we're stressed, we get sick, right? Well, what's stress? Anything stress. So anything can make us sick. How we become sick symptomatically is completely unique, but very specific to what we're seeing as a losing battle with ourselves. Because there's a battle, and it never ends until we die, because that's the ultimate battle, which I could never abide, because who cares? Who cares when you fucking die if you're not living? I digress, but only a little bit. This is a good point for a little intermission with, because the lyrics are perfect. Have I said what I wanted to say? Not really. But that's the great thing about friendship. It's like you're hearing what I wanted to think I saw. It must be your skin, I'm sinking, and this must be for real. I feel light in mind. It's not my kind, it's not my time to wonder why. Everything right and everything's great, and now you're here and away. I don't want this, never that. Never forget where you're at. Don't let the days go by. Listen, I'm never alone. I'm alone all the time. Are you and one do you lie? Living in a wheel where everyone steals, and when we rise, it's like strawberry fields, and you cheat me back. You bruise my faith. Couldn't love you more. Got a beautiful taste. Don't let the days go by. Could have been easy along. I could have changed. No, I wanted to easier on me. Should have feared you. Sorry, darling, the days go by. Don't let the days go by. Glistening, glistening, oh yeah, glistening, black moon, white again, black moon, white again, she falls around me. I needed you more, you wanted us less, and could not kiss. Just regrets, not just me, just simple and plain. Oh, that's just fine, that's just one of my name. Don't let the days go by. I could have been singing on you. Resurrect, resurrect. I've always loved the ending of this song, this part. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. So gorgeous. I'm just getting a pen and paper. This will be a good song. This will be our last song. Our ta-ta for now song. Yeah. I'm trying something with you. The world is not sick. Any more than tired. The world's not tired. Any more than an enforced nap time for a toddler. When we burn hot, we're winning. Hives, bumps, bruises. Are all evidence for what we've been through as what's been through us. A rose, by any other name, would never smell as sweet. The sweetness it is the sound rose is the sound it makes. Illness, dis-ease, sickness, helplessness, how many different ways to say that you and I are not perfect, are not capable, we need something from somewhere outside of us that only costs our life. How many ways to name from what for all these many sounds. Lies. Don't come with names. Untruth. Makes no note in the cosmic background. Fake does not play an instrument in the universe. There isn't just one or few things, acts to do or not do, or not I do. Countless are the ways. Every day we chip away at our godliness. Constant is the effort. Must. To mask what we do not have to make up. You're perfect. And instead of believing me, challenge me. Not me and you, but to yourself. Find the ways that you don't believe that. See if you can be right. And I assure you, because in this way you and I are the same, there's no evidence that lasts that you aren't perfect and have always been from the beginning. If I were to give one piece of actionable idea, it would be to challenge all the things that you believe that you do that's not good for you. Challenge all of the things that you believe you do that is good for you and that you do because it is good for you. And then consider what if none of it was necessary. I'm in pretty good shape, right? I don't really exercise. I do yoga every now and then, but I'm always moving with that level of intensity and form. I haven't always been that way. I mean, I have, as a process. You know what my diet is comprised of? Mostly white bread, margarine, jam, oatmeal, Kraft dinner, Domino's pizza. Very occasionally, like once every few weeks, I might eat something green. It's gross. And totally awesome. Granted, I'm a wizard with spices and whipping up. But my point is, and like I've done all of the diets. I've done the keto. I've done the vegan, vegetarian. I've done everything like that, which is also why I can be this way, because you can't, nobody can tell you the truth. That's not what trust is. Trust isn't believing someone is telling you the truth. If you don't believe someone is telling you the truth, you either are right or don't tell them the truth or someone else the truth, right? It's a part of it. But trust has nothing to do with the truth and telling it one way or another. You can only know it by testing it. But it's not a test to pass or fail. There's some true things that you might never really know is true because you don't give a fuck and it doesn't arise in your world. But when a truth is necessary, when it's validation for action, it can't be on someone else's word. Like when people do horrible things because they're told to, that is an infringement on their soul. You don't know what PTSD is? It's that. We're capable of all kinds of wondrous imaginative things, but what breaks us is when we know when we act contrary to a choice. Because that's all we are. Ultimately, in whatever form, in whatever dimension, what we are to be is the choice we make. Not the choices we make, not the choices we made, the choice we make. And when there's not consistency, we suffer. And when one can recognize the constancy, we become unburdened from not our choice. In the world today, there is much bullshit. There's so much bullshit. I was gonna say, like, you can't. I actually don't even know. It's not my world. There are different worlds coexisting right now. Call it whatever, in whatever terminology you want, but there's a whole realm of fake news, I'll just call it, that I don't even know about because it's not real. It doesn't exist to me. And if you think that my not knowing it isn't going to stop it from becoming a part of my world, then you haven't challenged that belief. Because I wouldn't believe that. That my just like not participating with that would set me free from it, except that that is the way that reality structures itself. And there's a difference between ignoring and being aware and not choosing. I not choose that. When I hear about all the great and wonderful things that are possible if we just had more money, that is the stupidest thing you've ever heard. Like, you don't make things out of money. You make things out of the things money buys, which means the money isn't necessary at all as a thing that makes. Now we can talk all about monetary and like economic opportunities, truth, reality. I love that shit. But to sum it up, there's nothing that stops people from doing what they can to love the people that they love and do right by them. And with this bullshit health scare that's going on in the world right now, it's so transparent. Go back to 2008, the economy, all that bullshit. Look at who benefited and look at who suffered. And then look now and see if you can draw parallels to how two very different global crises are creating and being created by the same socio-political manufactured processes. When there's no discrepancy in truth, truth is. So when there's very many different truths being expressed, that means the truth isn't being expressed. I don't want to tell anybody what to think. I just want to be myself and with you. Because when I'm myself with you, it reminds me that we're the same, or like there's others, like we're similar. Like it's like, oh yeah, it's good to hear fucking what I'm thinking too. And even though you're not speaking into the camera, I'm listening to you through it. That's not possible. Don't believe me. Figure that out. Because I don't have to tell you the truth. The truth is. I really appreciate the conversation. So I'm going to, at this point, say I love you, put my glasses on, and read. It's like I put my glasses on and I look over it to near sight. Eyes are funny. I have to get my eyes have to get like adjust because I do a lot of like eye work, eye training. I'm not gonna need glasses very soon. Daniel, my man, I'm here for the Monday chat. What up? Oh, it's not a platinum record. It's a painting, but it is a platinum record. Nomi, that's one of my favorite names because there's so many different ways to say it, and they're all really pretty. I love. Okay, I'm gonna read. I'm gonna before I just. That's amazing. I love it. So Noe, I totally had zero experience with anything like spirit guidey. Like my own psychic experiences growing up were very clairsentient, very even kinesthetic, intuitive, but like nothing. There was no persona per se. So when when the truth kind of when that doorway kind of opened in my life, it's like, whoa, what the fuck? Whoa, this shit's real, right? Because like I don't not believe things, but I'm not just gonna believe things until like they're real, and it's like, whoa, what the fuck? And you're very self-gifted to have aligned with a trusting and a knowing and a believing of yourself in that way. So what I will say, what I'll say to, like, I'm going to be the devil's advocate. Whoa. But not really, because I'm just agreeing with you in a different way. Only because I know that you're this, as opposed to like when there's a lot of we heal ourselves, we are one, we are free. in the world. People say this, but they don't know what it means and they never challenge it. That's not you. I can read that and be like, nope, she is speaking from life, which was, I don't, it was, as I experienced it, was really fucking generous as like a soul share. We are all one, and we are all individual. That's the prize. That's the gift. That's creator. That's source. To be at one, but to also individuate so that we can love each other. Blah, blah, blah. Like that opens a whole can of wonder. And we are free. And that is a really hard thing to scrape the bottom of, because in some ways, as like a residue, it's like the attempt at our freedom being taken from us, which is really just like all the circumstances we created so that we could experience and could be experienced, blah, 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 blah. There's that whole rabbit hole. I just love for every set of belief, find the paradox that makes it true. Because opposites don't cancel out. Opposites balance. Opposites make true, right? We're all free and we are not free. That is the only way that we could be free. And that's the only way we could be not free. Because not being free can be love. If we decide what free means in the context that we use it. And in closing, I would say, the heart is key, but so is the root, so is the crown, so is our third eye, so is our throat, so is, like, we exist beyond our senses, but that doesn't mean we can't come to sense what was previously beyond our senses, which is to say, through our heart. What is our heart? Is it an organ? Is it a place? Is it a time? Can it be expanded? Can it be contracted? And are any of those preferable? When the heart can mean through our love, then our heart can be our everything. And then we need not call it our heart, we can refer to it as ourselves. And then when we connect with each other, we can connect not only through our hearts, but through our skin, and through our hair, through our eyes, through our voices, through our laughter, through our tears, through our paintings, through our glasses, through everything, because nothing is what is in between what we are, where we are, when we are, as a choice. And if it's a choice made, then we're verifying, validating, and not present. If it's a choice that we always make, that we need to make, that is the choice to make, then it's never made because we're always making it. But when we allow the fullness of not consistency, I've acted this way in the past, so I will be consistent with myself, so I will continue to act that way. I did this and I did that, so I would do this because I'm this person. No, that's not the order. Every moment, you're not being, like I said earlier, when you like soaping your whole body and getting rid of everything, and it's like wiping your electromagnetic, your field, your auric field, on that level, not on all the levels, but on that level, that field of physicality gets wiped of its information, and then so it has no constancy, right? When your aura can, and I mean this in the most physical, tangible, interactive, environmental way, is self-aligned, is self-cohesive to a point where you can include everything as not only inside you, but also as as separate. Then you don't make good choices because you're a good person. You make choices because of what now is. And maybe you can look back and tell a story about the choices you made. And someone might say, like you, about yourself, about what kind of person of you makes the choices that are made. And so there is a consistency, but you're not aiming for it. The consistency is a constancy that becomes self-evident because it is your truth, because it is your soul, and because it is the only thing that lasts, because it is love. Because love carries it through. Because for all of your choices, love chooses you. Now, our final song. I love you. Thanks for hanging out. Night, stormy strain, higher than the Empire State. Other streets waiting for me just across the park. Forsaking my sunglasses, my scar. I know I gave it to you months ago. I know I tried to forget, maybe some subtle things. Oh, my apology. Hard to take it back, knowing by that time the bar closes and it feels like falling down. I'll carry you home tonight, 'cause we are young. So I set the world on fire, brighter than the sun. It's not. I hope you have a really amazing day and night, and day and night, and day and night. And that all the ways that you don't believe you're awesome, you try to prove. Like, I suck. I'm ugly. I'm horrible. Don't just believe it. I know that I'm not all that you got. Like I said, I just stopped. We'll fall apart. No, reference it back. So let's raise it up to the bound someone carry me home tonight. And that someone is me. But it's also not me. It's also someone. Someone. Because all that I am, to be all that I am, to be just me, to be a me, there must be a someone. We are young. As in, we are whatever the fuck we are. We are a we. Carry me on tonight. Carry me on tonight. Carry me on tonight. Just carry me on tonight. Come on, carry me on tonight. You know that, like, carry me on tonight. That, like, knight in shining armor, save the princess, like, plot. I always challenge whatever I think the straightforward understanding is. And what isn't commonly known. So by the time the bar closes, you feel like falling down, I'll carry you home tonight. What's not commonly known, but especially by girls, because they're the princesses. We don't need rescuing. It's like, right? That's the fucking anthem. There is no night if there is no damsel in distress. Like, it's not to need to be worthy, not to have a purpose. It's not that, it's nothing so contrived, so needy, or anything that exact. It's just in any adventure, there's a complementary. If there's no distress, then there's no rescuing, then no one needs help, then no one needs to rise to the occasion. There's no night. And if there's no night and there's no damsel in distress, then there's no beauty worth coveting and then worth protecting. It means that no one's trying to be that. In ultimate form, in creation, there's imperfection. There's going to be the utmost in fragility that is also, and vulnerability that is also the most sweet. It has to be that way, because any other way would be less. And so we would continue to strive for it. Any more beautiful and it would be too fragile. So at the very limit of fragility, make it stronger. All right, now that it's stronger, can you make it more beautiful if it means more fragile? And then that fragility, that vulnerability. It's not deserving, it's not needs, it's not want, it's desire. It's who, if one wants to be that, is willing to be that, almost like pristine, of their own accord, then couldn't one want to be one that is not the opposite of it, but is whatever it needs, so that it can be what it can be, because it likes it. Right? Like the damsels in distress, because we live constantly on the frontier of creation. And there be wildebeests. There be knots. There be no's. And for every occasion of that, there must, needs, wants to be the eye of the beholder. Because the damsel in distress, right? Like, why do you love those fairy tale stories? It's not because the damsel is so beautiful, is so gorgeous, although that can be a part of the wounding of being enough and not enough. Trust me, I know all about the night side. It's the love. It's the truth. It's the vulnerability of the night, the fragility of the night, that only a damsel in distress could see. Because I don't know if you guys, like, what's distress? It's like, what's stress? And then what's distress? Yo, this sounds like a scam. Yo, she's running the show. All right, yo. You know what? Naomi, I think you're fucking awesome. And I'm going to check out your readings, because I vibe with friends, and you can say the alphabet, and I'd want to hear it, because the words are just the sounds that we as flowers make, right? And this is just the beginning of a conversation, because it's like, it's been an hour and a half. we can talk for hours. And this whole YouTube, this is all interim for a greater neighborly community that forms. It's not what we're making, it's an inevitability, because the choice we make is that. It's now. Yay, friendship. High five. Oh. I'm gonna dip. I'm gonna have a smoke. And I was gonna go for a walk/run. I don't really run. I used to run. Oh, whatever, man. Yeah. But it's fucking cold today. But I like the cold. Anyways, so we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna get a little smoke and listen to some more music and smile, because I had a really good time with you guys today. Thank you very much for joining me. No, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm gonna, until I hear you say your name, go back and forth from Naomi and Naomi. I haven't said Naomi, so I'm inclined to be. It's like Naomi or Naomi. I just love it. It's such a pretty name. It's so subtle and like. Anyways, thanks for saying hi. Thanks for sharing, because I appreciate it. Everything we do, we could do not. But everything that we do is so what we're becoming. I love you. And I always end my broadcasts with that truth, because it's not something that should be reserved for knights and princesses, for husbands and wives, for girlfriends and boyfriends, for brothers and sisters, for mothers and fathers. I love you needs to be said. Are you kidding me? That is so pretty. You know you've got a pretty name. Like, my name's Elliot Anthony. Like, it's pretty regal. I tell myself. / whatever. Yeah, I totally will. Thanks everyone and anyone who has been hanging out with me for this time. And I look forward to more. But not really. Just, I'm going to enjoy it when we get there. Seriously, I love hanging out with you. And you're powerful. But don't believe me. Don't believe me. And then prove me wrong. But you can't do it. I love you. Have a lovely day. Namaste.